Good morning. Today we're going to go live and we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to actually do a little bit of hands-on fascial maneuvers with Aisha. She's got some back pain and I thought it would be fun to do a couple of partner-assisted maneuvers. We don't do too much of that online. Most of what we do is showing you how to do it yourself. So today we thought we would have some fun and do some hands-on. So if you are a practitioner or you want to learn fascia or fascial maneuvers and how to work on the body, today is a good class. Or if you have a friend or a family member that you either want to train or have work on you, this is a good class too. So let us know how you're feeling in the comments, just so that we can kind of see where everybody's at today. And we can answer some questions as we go. What are you feeling today? Like what's...
Oh my god. My lower back hurts like a lot. Like I can barely like move. And then it feels like all of the pressure like on the lungs almost like going up. Not a lot of rotation, like very stiff. And my skin looks really funny, like this part. So something changed here, but it was like the skin stayed. It's really funny.
The skin stayed?
Yeah, like the skin is very weird. It's like if the body rotated a little bit, but the skin didn't. So
inside layers moved.
and not the outside. So today when I went dancing, I was like, what's going on with my stomach?
Okay. Well, lie on your back. Let me change something here.
What?
I'm just laughing at you.
Okay.
Layers on layers, yes. Okay, so let's set this up here. So one of the things in here, people get blocked a lot. And the fascia gets really sticky. That can happen from C-section scars. It can happen from surgery. It can happen from chemicals in your environment, your food. So anywhere in the lower quadrant, just above the hip here, kind of that space between your belly button and your hip, under the rib cage, on both sides, around the belly button, that's where we hold a lot of connection to our parents, especially your mother. And the umbilical cord was cut. So when that was cut when you were born, that created a trauma. And that gets stored right there. And then you have the region on the left side here that also gets tight. You've got your spleen back there. You've got your pancreas over here, your stomach, your intestines all come through here. And a lot of the time when people are blocked here, if you open this up, they'll get like a head rush. On this side, if you open it up, they get less bloating and gas and distension. It helps with autoimmune. Here is where all the anger, your liver, basically your body's pharmacy holds everything in there. And then your stomach, so your primary digestion. So what we'll do to start is we're going to do the belly button release. And I like to start with the belly button release because there's so much held inside of there. You've got your connection to your mother, you've got your emotions, your traumas. It's all held and stored in this spot. So it can be very sensitive for somebody, and it can be very powerful to release. And there is a direction that we want to go when we do it. So digestion is coming around this way, and that creates that winding sensation. So when we do this, we want to actually torque and unwind the fascia the opposite direction. Okay. So what you're going to do, you're going to place your hand over the belly button here. And you're going to, what I like to do so that I don't get my fingers in her belly, is actually place the fingertips, not the nails, not pushing down like that, but actually more gliding. And as I create that torquing, gliding sensation, I'm creating friction, and it pulls and unwinds everything from there, okay? So placing my hand here, I'm going to push down about 1 centimeter. I'm going to grab the fascia and then I'm going to twist it. There we go. You see that creates that rotation. And now I'm just going to hold this while she breathes. And when you do this, you might feel like a pulsing sensation. That's normal because inside there you've got a lot of big arteries, your digestive system, so you can feel the heart actually beat through here. And you hold it while you feel different layers release. So it'll feel like pulsing, buzzing, tingling. You might have different sensations of heat or cold. You might have relaxation. All of these can be done on your own. So I'm going to rotate a bit further here.
And if you're lying down, you can try different types of breathing. Like you can breathe in and out to their hand or a little bit higher. It will create different pressure but also different sensations. And like you can also see how it feels when you hold yourself or you also cross your feet. It creates very different sensations and it allows you to go deeper and feel a little bit more safe also.
Okay, so when they're in the position, you can have them say affirmations. So say, I feel safe and protected.
I feel safe and protected.
I love myself.
I love myself.
Say, I release these emotions from my body.
I release these emotions from my body.
There we go, there's a shift. Okay. Whew. How did that feel?
Intense. And last night, like around maybe 3 or 4, I start feeling like a lot of anxiety. Like when you feel that something really bad is gonna happen, that you feel like your body is super cold and like shivers. And I couldn't figure out where it was coming from, and it lasted like 1 hour. And I felt a lot of that move right now when you did the belly button.
Okay. So the other one. So I'm actually, this is her right side, just so you know. I'm going to grab the fascia here and I'm going to pull it. So let me just put the camera down so you can see with both hands how to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pin her hip with one hand. And then I'm going to take the other hand and I'm going to push the fascia away, stretching it. So creating that stretching sensation over the fascia or the skin. It might feel like it's tearing or burning. And you can actually do in multiple directions, so it doesn't have to be that way. So I'm basically just taking the skin and I'm stretching it apart. This is her right side. So taking two areas, pinning them, stretching it, and then hold it in place. So you can see what she's doing. She's grabbing the fascia and she's pulling the opposite direction of me. The more angles we get, the better. So if you have a partner helping you and you help them help you, it'll go faster. So I'm just pinning and locking for her, and she's going to go with find the different tension lines. The camera might be flipped, I'm not sure, but this is definitely her right side. Yeah, there's emotions that can be held in here. She did have a C-section, and you can see a little bit of the scar there.
I have another scar in my lower back also.
Yeah. So all I'm doing is pinning. She's pinning another area that she feels the tension. And when she pulls here, there's a line. When she pulls there, there's a line. And there might be less tension here than if she pulls that way or this way or that way. And so you get to kind of play around with it and feel what works for you. I'm not even really doing much because she knows how to work on her body. So I'm just adding that extra stretch that she normally doesn't get. So you can do this by taking two hands, find 2 points of tension, stretch it, hold it, and let them breathe. And we're not forcing the body into anything. It's more letting the body do the work. How's that feel?
Feels good. My leg went a little bit numb.
Okay.
You moved there.
Okay, so we're gonna do a leg pull now. So here, let me just set it up for you guys so you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab her leg at the heel, and then I'm gonna just pull on it. Now, I don't have to pull hard. I've got one hand, or I can use two. But the idea is we're elongating the leg. A lot of the time people get really stuck from sitting in a chair or an injury or one side dominance. There's an imbalance, so one leg is longer than the other. So just by pulling on it and holding, and I've got my arms straight, so I'm not using a lot of muscles when I'm pulling. She's got the other leg up there so she doesn't slide. And you can have them actually pull against you. So she can pull her leg back into the socket and then let it go. And as she does that, she's participating in the movement. So the body feels safer. And when the body feels safer, there's a bigger release. Okay, now I'm going to turn the foot inwards. Let's change angles so you can see a different angle here. So I'm going to turn it inwards, and I'm going to pull. Now pull it up and down. Up, down, up, down. One more. And relax. Okay.
I'm sweating.
So now we're going to do the other leg. Yeah, the camera is mirrored, so it's making it hard for me too. Okay. So grab the leg. You can see I really grab under I cup the heel. So now I have a good grip. I don't even need my other hand. My other hand is just for extra support. So you can do internal rotation or external. I'm going to do internal. So I'm going to turn her leg inwards first and then pull down and have her pull up against me and then release. Pull up and release. And every time she pulls up and then releases, pull up and release, it goes deeper. Okay, let's do inwards. And relax. How's it feel?
It feels good.
Okay, walk around. Okay, she's gonna walk around for a second. If you have any questions, let me know. Can we make this taller? Oh yeah, that's better. Don't judge me for all my cacao. It was not me. You know, the leg pull I like a lot because it's actually, I think, one of the only maneuvers you can't do on your own. If you look at every other maneuver, it was created from hands-on table therapy. So when we created the fascial maneuvers, we looked at everything we did on a table that we did hands-on with people, and we said, can we do this ourselves? And so there's a lot of movements that you wouldn't think that you could do on yourself, but you can. And when you have a practitioner do it, that's like doing 500 push-ups in one day. When you do it, it's like doing 5 push-ups a day. So if you do it every day for 100 days, you will surpass the practitioner. And that's really what we're doing here, is the consistency of helping yourself over time, using the fascial maneuvers, cleaning your environment, expressing and managing your emotions. You will bypass the ability of any practitioner or any therapy to help you, because you're taking care of yourself every single day. And that's the most important part, and that's why the fascial maneuvers exist. It's so that you have tools to work on your body so you can heal yourself. When you work with a partner, you can accelerate it, but it's not going to work if you're not willing to put in the work daily on yourself to take care of you and your body. How's it feel?
Good. Head feels way more calm. I feel that I'm walking on the side of my feet, like with this,
Yeah.
instead of normal. And a little bit of like cramping here.
Okay, good. So this is really important. When you're working with the body, we see the body as a pressurized system. So you have water, you have air pressure, and you're constantly moving that from one area to the next. So if there's pressure in this area, then there's a blockage here or here, and there's also going to be pressure in this area. And it's almost like a little balloon animal, right? So we're moving this pressure around, or like a tube of toothpaste where you squeeze that last bit out. If I change pressure here, that pressure is going to go somewhere, and it's going to land where there's already a restriction, and then pressure is going to build. So in this case, we moved the pressure in one area of her body, and now it's moved up into her just under her rib cage there. So we can actually do something to help. So stand up. Wow. Okay. So we're going to do rib rotation. So this one's really simple. I look like a giant in comparison to her. So you're going to go on the ribs. Now, most people, when you put your hands on the ribs, they're not going to be even. One's going to be rotated forward, up, and the other one's going to be rotated back and down, or vice versa. So what you can do is you can actually feel the different positions. Oh, I don't know what's going on there, but so you can feel the different positions, and you can see the ribs are not even here.
My belly button is on one side.
Yeah.
It's not straight.
So what you can do is wrapping your hands around the side from front to back over the rib cage. And what I can do is I can rotate the ribs around. So imagine like I'm walking the fascia on the outside around her. Okay, now you turn the opposite direction. So if I'm rotating her ribs forward to the right, she's going to turn her head to the left. And breathe. I'm not doing much here. I'm literally just rotating the fascia over the rib cage. And then an easier way is I can actually pin my body up against her. I can grab her hip. So I'm pulling her hip one way and I'm pulling her rib cage the other way. And then her head's coming towards me. It's almost like you're wringing out a towel. Okay, lean towards me. Breathe. Okay.
It feels better when I lean the opposite direction.
Yeah.
To you.
That's because of your rib rotation. So rotate the other way.
Ooh.
So I'm going to rotate her ribs the opposite direction now. Turn your head against. Now go which way feels better for you. That way? Okay. No, it doesn't even feel like this way.
It feels very
so
weird.
It's only this way.
When I rotate the other way, I feel like my rib stabs my lung.
Yeah. So it's not even for her, so going both ways doesn't make sense. And this is why communicating with your partner is really important, but also knowing that like not everything has to be done on both sides. I don't even have to be an expert. Like I don't have to know which way to go. I can just ask them, how does this feel? So I'm just pinning and locking and holding one area, and now she's moving around and finding the different areas of restriction. It's almost like she's doing the practice, I'm just assisting. And that's really the whole point. Okay. So walk around. Now, after you do something like that, and you let them walk around, be mindful not to let them go, because we're moving pressure around, which can make people feel dizzy, and sometimes they can pass out. And it's just because it's like, imagine all this fluid entered your head. That could knock you out. So, it's happened before, and if you're there, then you can just hold them. But it's very rare that it happens, but it can. How's it feel?
I can feel all of my emotions bubbling up.
Emotions?
Yeah, not fun.
Okay, what emotions?
Like I can feel kind of like a very similar to feeling of like last night of like getting, I don't know if it's anxious or nervous, and like here, and it's just like like a feeling that you want to open everything.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, this one's actually like sometimes people's favorites. Turn around. No, turn your legs.
Oh.
So behind here, right over that, you've got the hip joint. So you can feel the top of the hip right there. And a lot of the time, because people sit in a chair, just like pretend like you're sitting, you're pushing all that fascia. The layers like this get stuck against the chair, so they're not moving. You don't get flow through here. From here all the way down to under the knee, it gets compressed when you sit in a chair, so there's no flow. So imagine all those layers go, and it sits like that for hours. So what you can do is you can take both hands and you're going to place it on the top of the hips. And I like to keep my arms straight and actually use my weight, but you can use your arms like this. But the more weight that I use, the better. So I'm going to stabilize myself, grab around the hips, over top of the hip bone, and I'm going to push the fascia down. And now lean forward slowly.
Yeah, and if you can put like your hands inside or like outside and like pull your fascia to the front, it will create even more space.
Okay, so I'm pinning. I'm not letting the fascia move in her lower back. That means any movement she does, she's finding a line of tension between my fingertips on her back and her movement. That creates the release. So hold it, and then I'm just letting her find the movement. She knows her body well enough. She's done maneuvers for long enough. So she knows how to find that point of tension. Breathe into it and hold. Okay, come on up. That one's really good for people with a lot of lower back pain.
I'm sweating again and my legs feel like yellow, like cooked spaghettis. They're just like blue.
Okay, walk around.
Sí, señor.
How do you feel?
Better.
Better? Yeah, you can do that one on your own. Pin your hands, lock it, and then move. So you can do all of these on your own, but when you're using a partner, it speeds up the process. So one of the things that I do is I'll actually do anti-gravity up against the wall. Because when I go up against the wall, it pins the fascia right here. So then the line of tension is more here. So you can use a wall, you can use a partner. There's lots of different ways to do it. Okay, another one that will help with her is opening up through the bladder and pelvic floor. So she had a C-section, but also a lot of people have tension through here. So with permission, you could put your hands just under the belly button and pull the fascia up. So like stick it, pull it up, and then push the hips forward and have them lean back on you. Lean your head on me. Stick your chest up and breathe. And then you rock back and forth from right to left. Breathe.
My cheeks are sweating now.
Okay, walk around. So that one's right on the bladder, between the pelvic floor and the bladder. If you're locked up there, then you have tight hips. So usually when people open that up, it helps them walk, helps them move. If you have period pain, if you have lower back pain, if you have a lot of tension there, that one helps. How do you feel?
Quiet in my head. Slower or calmer maybe. Like, can we do the one here?
Yeah. Okay, so scar tissue feels great, yeah. Okay, so now one of the other ones where people get really stuck is between the hip and the ribs, because if she sits down, you're basically curling down and compressing all of this. So this doesn't move, which the kidneys are here. On the left side, on the back, you've got your spleen. Your intestines come through there. You've got a lot of meridian lines too. So what you can do is over the hip bone, you actually place your hand from front to back. So you wrap it like this. And I'm gonna pin it down when she's in a non-stretched position. So I want it when it's really short. And then she's going to grab her elbow and lean over. And I'm just pinning over the hip, and she's stretching through movement. So she's stretching from this hand all the way down into my hand, all through here. Now it all matters where I pin. If I pin higher, so if I pin on the rib cage, she's gonna feel it more between her ribs and her elbow. If I pin more on the hip, she's gonna feel it more between the hip and the ribs. So where I pin is important. Breathing is important too. Okay, relax.
Wait, that made me do this.
Okay.
That felt good.
Okay, walk around. Now you have them walk. You don't have to when someone's really experienced, but if they have a big release, you want them to, because if there's a restriction, your body learns how to walk with that restriction. As you open it up, then your body wants to learn how to walk in a new way.
Oh, I can breathe on that side.
Yeah, and breathing is important through the maneuver, and the reason why is because when you breathe, you're bringing air in. So I'm pinning, stretching, and locking the outside layers of fascia. She's moving and twisting and torquing the internal layers. And then when she breathes, it opens up. So there's multiple layers of stretching here versus if you just stretch a muscle, like a hamstring in one direction, you're not really getting that torquing and breathing sensation in there. I can breathe better just watching. Okay, good. Okay, so let's do the other side. So where I pin, if I pin here, I'm going to get more here. If I pin here, I'm going to get more here. So I can do both. She wants both, okay. So I'm going to pin it. And now lean.
This side is tighter.
Breathe deep. Okay, now come back. I'm going to pin a bit higher. Okay, lean. Okay. It's going to take a minute. Walk around. You'll notice a lot of emotions come up through the maneuvers, and that's because you store emotion in your body. You also, if you want to do it on your own, you can pin the hip with one hand and pull the ribs with the other, and then lean over and move. And you can also pin up here and move. Now, an even more advanced is I could put my hip against the wall, grab here, and move. Now the wall's pinning. It's a little bit lower than what I was doing for her, but it does create another angle. And it's all about angles. I mean, your body's supposed to move in pretty much every direction. And we have limitations in movement. So pin, lock, stretch, move, and breathe, and move in as many directions that you possibly can until it feels good.
And also, like, when you release, it looks different in each person. Some people are released, like they will cry. Some people will want to punch you. Some people, like I giggle or I laugh when I hit that part. Some people shake. Some people make noises. So just know that whatever you're feeling, whatever it's coming up, and the way that it's expressing, it's normal. It's good. Feels good. Keep walking around. I'm talking to myself now. Keep walking.
Is that the energy exchange? Not really. I mean, you're exchanging energy with everything in your environment. How it impacts you is based on your current state. But she's got her own stuff that she's moving through, so.
And I think the fast for 7 days, like my skin feels very different. My body feels very different, like the space, especially like in this area. So I have been having a lot of like adjustments, sleep patterns, and a lot of different things. So right now it's also just like adjustments, growth.
Yeah.
And definitely a lot of emotions.
Okay, next is like through here, people get very tight. So there's a couple ways to do it. One of the easier ways is to grab the shoulder like it's almost like a gear. And you can have them sit down if you're not tall enough. but you're gonna rotate it back. Now, there's different ways to do it. I'm gonna do it like that. You can stand up, I'm tall. So rotate it and then have them stick their chest up. And breathe. I'm just pulling the layers of fascia in the chest over and then go back and forth. I can do the same thing but more on the collarbones. So pulling the collarbones, the fascia with my fingers, you can see I'm pinching it and pulling it up. Move it back and forth. Okay. Walk around. So that one you can do solo. When you pin here, pin, pull up with your thumb. Grab the elbow, lift it up and over. The other way is you can torque backwards. So you can do this all on your own. Just go through our programs, we'll show you how. Is it okay? Okay, now she's gonna have a lot of neck changes. So a good one is the ears. So to grab the ears, she's got tiny little ears, but what I'm doing is I'm gonna grab it with my fingers and my palms. And then I'm actually gonna pin her shoulders down with my arms. So I can lift her ears up to the sky. Hold on, hers are so tiny. So I'm actually literally lifting her up from her ears. La la la, this is for all the times you were mean to me.
Oh my god, this is gonna come with payback.
Okay. You can grab different parts of the ears. Hit a bunch of likes if you want me to pull harder.
No.
Okay. Walk around.
Oh, that adjusted my jaw.
Yeah, the ears are good for the jaw, for neck, for head tension. You can do your own little ear torques. Don't you dare. Oh, that's funny.
Oof, that one was intense.
Yeah, and then another one you can do, antler twist. So this one we do on your own, but you can also do it with a partner, where the right hand goes back and the left hand goes forward. And squeeze their head like a zit. And then twist so your hands meet at the top. And then move around. These are all things she can do on her own, but I can just get better grip. This one's good if you have headaches, head tension, concussions, racing thoughts. Okay.
Everything looks super bright now.
Yeah.
Like, everything.
So things look brighter, which means that there was a lot of tension held here.
And my nose is...
Your nose is running?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do sinus release. So sinus release you can do on your own. What you're doing is you're pinning all the fascia right on the edge of the nose, and then you're pulling the cheek back. And by doing that, you're stretching the layers so then you can get flow in there again. Now, if you're doing it with a partner, I actually like to use my chest as like a little board. And I'll pin right against the nose with one hand, and then I'll pull the skin back with the other, or I can use my palm if I want to go even more intense. This is funny.
No, it's not.
Breathe. Really good if you have allergies. Okay. Okay. Her face, poor thing.
It actually feels really good, even if it looks like that.
I'm using my palm because I get better leverage, but you can use your fingers.
And I even feel the release like in my lower back and in my hips when doing this.
Vagus nerve, you just pin, stretch. You can look it up on our YouTube. How's that feel? We got a thumbs up.
Yeah, that guy.
She's done. Okay.
Whew. Thank you.
I just did that and heard the release. Good. So, I guess today, just to recap, we went over a couple maneuvers, and you can do these with a friend, you can do them with a partner, you can do them with a practitioner, you can show your practitioner, you can try it on each other. There's no right or wrong. Our goal is to just teach you about your body, how to work on yourself, how to help someone if they're in pain, and give you all the tools. So if you want, we're going to be posting this live on our Instagram and our YouTube, so you can watch it again. You can learn the maneuvers. We also have partner and self-care maneuvers all on our YouTube that you can sign up for and watch. So I hope you enjoyed today's live, and we'll see you on Thursday.